Hey everyone, I hope you're well. Today I want to share my feedback on how I reached higher level ranks in Apex Legends and how you can use that to rank up faster yourself. Now, I just reached Master playing mostly Rampart, and I have been Diamond every split solo queuing, but I learned quite a lot along the way to help me to make sure that I can consistently rank up. And I think that my perspective is a little bit different. I've never had a pre-made team. I'm not a super good player. I'm not a pro. I can't just always rely on good aim and good movement because I don't have that like good pros have. So I'm a little bit more like you. And I think that maybe I have a bit more of a perspective from your point of view. Someone who's trying to grind rank but is struggling because I've been there a lot. So I want to talk about my experience and kind of give an overview of how I got from the start rank to Masters and Diamond every split. This isn't necessarily like a list of tips, but just an overall sort of thought process to go through when you're playing. So it all starts with understanding the rank system right now prioritizes placements, but kills are also very important. So your goal in a game really is to get a few kills and then set yourself up with placements to get top 5 at least, and if you can, win out the game. So it first starts with making sure you can get some kills early game. If you don't get kills early game, it's going to become very hard to get kills later on in the game because everyone wants to get kills. Everyone wants to take fights in the late game, but nobody's going to do it unless someone starts shooting first. So you're never really going to have the opportunity unless someone else starts a fight, and then you can third party them, but maybe then you're going to get third partied, right? If you take a fight at the start of a game, you're more likely to get RP and get those kills because the third partying isn't so severe at the start of the game. You may get third partying from nearby POIs, nearby locations, but everyone else is busy looting. Everyone else is getting their starter loot. Everyone else is dealing with their things when they first land. They're not ready to just jump into a third party at a moment's notice. So getting those early kills off drop is really, really important. So you want to try and get a POI that's big enough to support the size of, 2 or 3 teams, loot up safely at a spot in that POI, and then take a fight. So landing Elysium is a 50-50 coin flip. You don't really want to land there. Landing Hydroponics is really great. There's a bunch of loot. It's a really big spatial area, tons of loot. Landing something like Bonsai is good so long as there aren't too many teams there. You don't want to hot drop. You don't want to land in a heavily contested area, but you want to land in a POI that's large enough when there's 1 or 2 other teams there. Then loot up quickly and go take that initial fight. And if anyone pushes you, or you just get into a bad situation, or suddenly you're in between 2 different squads, you need to back out as quickly as you possibly can. Get those fights, practice that, and if you're not gaining RP because you keep dying off drop, then just learn that process. Learn that process of staying safe and getting RP off drop, and then quickly looting up and healing up and avoiding third-party fights as quickly as possible. Because once you get that initial KP at the start of a game, it's going to skyrocket the process of ranking up fast, right? Get those initial kills, and then as soon as you've done that, and start to change your priorities, right? It's time to focus entirely on getting ring placements, getting in the late game rings, setting up, defending, and just waiting. Just waiting. You can either play at the edge of the ring, which is quite a good way to do it, or you can try and get yourself quite close into the center of the ring if you know where the ring locations are. For example, you have a recon legend on the team. But anyway, either way, you need to get rotating into the ring as soon as possible, craft some bats, and you're good to go. The rest of the game, just wait. Don't fight. Don't really take fights, because if you've got that initial amount like kills, then that final fight right at the end is going to give you enough kill points alongside the win to max your RP, right? There's no point killing more than 5 people in the game if you're gonna get the win, right? 6 or 7 kills if you're second and third place. That's gonna be the max KP you can get in a game. So it really does make sense just to wait and stay safe. Now, how are you going to be able to stay safe? Well, if you're playing solo, I think that you should probably take a legend with repositioning abilities. Octane, Valkyrie, Wraith, Pathfinder, Bangalore. All of these legends are really good because you can use your abilities selflessly to get away if you need to. If your teammate's just rushing in and dying and you know that there's no way you're going to rescue them, just use your abilities to run away and hide. It's boring, but that's how you play ranked at times. So get a legend with movement. Now, if you are playing with a stack of 3 or a duo, then you definitely want a movement legend that can work with your team. So a jump pad, Valkyrie's ult, 2 really good examples. And then you definitely want a recon legend so that you can scan and know where the ring is. Valkyrie does both, so she's a really great choice. And then if you're playing a 3-stack, definitely play Gibraltar. So Gibraltar, movement legend, and a recon legend, and you're pretty much set up to go. So what if you don't want to play those legends and you want to play your main? Well, you can do it. Like I played Rampart and got 2 masters this split, so it's definitely possible. And if you're really experienced in the game, I'd say just play who you want to and don't worry. But the meta is important, and we can take a look at that to prove it, right? This is the pick rate for legends in unranked, or just all matches in total, right? From ApexLegendsStatus.com. Now pay attention to how the meta shifts as we start to go up the tiers. Take a look at Lifeline and Bangalore, for example, who are, you know, just free legends that aren't really that meta. Take a look at Gibraltar, who is a very meta legend high level, but doesn't get high pick rate in sort of unranked games. What we'll start to see is Octane, Bloodhound, Wraith, Valkyrie, Pathfinder staying at the top. Gibraltar starts to rise. Bangalore and Lifeline start to fall. And by the time you get to like diamond level rank, you have Gibraltar and the top legends alongside Ashe, Horizon, Valkyrie, Bloodhound, Pathfinder, Octane, and Wraith. All of the other legends aren't meta. Very few people are playing them and successfully getting to master or predator rank in this game. So keep that in mind. One of these legends here is probably a good shout on this first row. Gibraltar is really important. Valkyrie is really important, as well as Bloodhound. Pathfinder, Octane, and Wraith are very good mobility legends with some selfish escape tools. So keep that in mind. I would say that if you do want to pick enough meta legend, something like Caustic is actually not bad. I'm surprised he's got such a low pick rate. Even with his recent nerfs, you can play Caustic, you can play safe, you can play ring and just focus on getting in ring placements and just set up in a building. It still works. Same as with Watson as well. It does work. There are counters to it as well. Crypto is a decent counter or alternative to Bloodhound, although I would say Bloodhound is just the most useful, viable option because it's just so much easier to have active scans, and you have Bloodhound's ultimate, which is going to be good for repositioning if you need to. Mirage is also a funny choice, right? If you're like some kind of crazy Mirage god, sure, take Mirage. You may as well, but you will struggle because he doesn't really have any repositioning tools. He doesn't have any movement. You'll need to use an Octane jump pad. If you're playing pre-made, you could give it a go. Lifeline, just don't even bother. You need to take the Gibby Dome. You need to take the Gibby Dome over Lifeline. And what you'll see is that a lot of these legends who have a low pick rate, it's because there's a legend that does the job better. Rampart, Watson, Lifeline, they all have sort of defensive healing potential, right? Gibraltar, just put his dome down, nobody can shoot through it, and, you know, that's why he's better, right? So, yeah, that's a little bit of an overview of the legends that you should play in Apex Legends ranked mode. You can always go to ApexLegendsStatus.com to find this out yourself if you would like to know about it. You can see closer. Just make sure to click on the high level ranks so you can understand what's really the meta right now, because it does evolve. So in summary, all you really need to do is land somewhere relatively safe, get initial KP, and then play it safe for the rest of the game. Rinse and repeat, and you'll rank up. It's the quickest way to do it. That's how I did it. I just stuck to that sort of routine. You know, you'll lose RP, but as long as you don't get sort of demoralized and just keep at it, you will eventually rank up. Rank is very time consuming, so keep that in mind. But hopefully this was useful. Let me know if you have any of your own tips as well. I'd love to hear them, and I'll see you all in the comments. Cheerio!